Sponsored by Brilliant. I live on AirPods. I use them in the mornings when I go out to walk. I use them during the day for meetings, podcasts, and calls. I use them when I'm out to edit these videos. I use them when I travel, even without noise canceling. They're light. They're wireless, they're long-lasting, and they're incredibly convenient. I use them for almost everything. Almost. Like I said before, I have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mangled ears, or maybe just asymmetrical ears, and the right one just doesn't stay in as well as the left. So, for anything where I want stereo, but I need to do something super active, AirPods just can't hang. But 24 hours later, I'm already thinking Powerbeats Pro can. Hit subscribe and drop it Dre style on that little bell gizmo so you don't miss the full review next week. I'm Rene Ritchie, and this is Vector. In the Powerbeats Pro box, which is really cleverly composed, you get the charging case, and inside it, the left and right Powerbeats Pro. You also get the ear tips and 4 different size options, a Lightning to USB-A cable in iMac Pro Black, a quick start guide, your Beats sticker, of course, and your legal stuff. Now, Apple bought Beats by Dre back in August of 2014, and since then has relaunched the streaming app as Apple Music. The headphones, though, they've kept branded as Beats. On one hand, they're still Beats, more colorful, more expansive, and more booming with the bass. On the other, they've been integrating new Apple technologies almost as fast as the Apple branded kit. I don't know if that means they're all up in Apple's giant state-of-the-art acoustics facility in Cupertino, but that's my best guess. And not just because Beats is claiming these new Powerbeats Pro, successors to the previous Powerbeats 3, have been completely re-engineered from the inside out with advanced acoustic engineering for an impressive dynamic range, separation across the frequency curve, 60% reduction in total harmonic distortion, and powerful sound performance with clean, deep bass response. But because they're delivering on those things. That's all thanks to a new linear piston driver with rigid aluminum piston center, and a new acoustic housing with micro laser barometric venting, which all sounds to me like Tony Stark talking to Jarvis, Friday, whatever, about the next set of Iron Man armor. The design has been tweaked too, angled to better fit the ear, with an offset acoustic nozzle for a better seal, and a redesigned hook for what they call better stability, and I call less flippity-floppity when things are getting hectic. I've been wearing them with glasses all day, glasses slipped under the Powerbeats Pro to be specific, and they feel like I'm not even wearing them at all. No discomfort, none. Combined with the 4 different ear tip options, it lets you really customize the fit for maximum comfort and connection, and so far, so great. I didn't change them from the default, but my colleague Lori Gill did, and instead of pain after an hour or so like she gets with EarPods and AirPods, she's had nothing but comfort all day. That fit also provides noise isolation. Now, it's not active noise canceling with all the quality that provides and the power it demands. By virtue of the fit, it just better shuts out more of the noise around you. So far, so good in coffee shops, but I'll be taking them on planes and trains starting tomorrow, and I'll let you know how that works out. Compared to the Powerbeats 3, the Powerbeats Pro have been PIM-particled down to 23% less volume and 17% less weight. You can feel that instantly too, both in terms of how they fit around your ear, but also how they weigh on it. That's because when you're dealing with something so small and light already, any percentage less turns out to be a big percentage less. Unlike AirPods, these new Powerbeats are also water and sweat resistant. The certification level is IPX4. Now, that means they're splash resistant, but unlike modern iPhones, not submersion resistant, and unlike recent Apple Watches, certainly not swim-proof. So, in other words, you can sweat in them and get some rain on them while you're out running in a hoodie or something, but don't drop them in the pool for any length of time and don't even think about swimming with them. The Powerbeats Pro come with and in a charging case like AirPods, but like the buds themselves, that case is proportionately bigger. If I was into makeup, I'd say lipstick versus compact, and then probably get yelled at by everyone actually into makeup. A chicken nugget versus a junior burger. I'll spare you any more painful analogies and just say this. I can fit them into the pockets of my non-hipster, non-skinny jeans of holding, but if you typically spray paint your pants on, you're gonna need to throw them into your gear, gym, or go bag. The one big downside is that the Powerbeats Pro case, unlike the AirPods case, doesn't have a wireless inductive charging option. And if you've gotten used to that with any of your tech, it's hard to give the convenience up. Hopefully, Beats will release one, at least at some point. The Powerbeats case, though, unlike AirPods, is designed to sit and charge while open, so they may take up more space, but they can do so on display. I wanted to break out the controls because they're actual physical controls, and I think that deserves some extra attention. AirPods are super elegant, and that's great, but still, for many people, nothing beats the crunchy, clicky, tactile sensation of actual physical controls. And Powerbeats Pro has them on both pods identically and controllingly. You can press the big Beats logo on the front to play or pause, answer or end calls, and even hold it down to activate Siri if you don't like voice activation. You can also double-click to skip forward and triple-click to skip back, double-click and hold to fast forward, and triple-click and hold to rewind. There's also a volume rocker on each bud. Yeah, on-device volume. Each bud. Superb. I'm not an audiophile. Whatever the opposite of a golden ears is, I'm that, like a fool's golden ears. They sound good to me though so far, fuller and richer than AirPods and not as bass heavy as I expected. My colleague and noted rocker Lori Gill is going to be doing a full-on audio review though, but here are her early thoughts. I'll keep listening for the rest of the week and let you know my thoughts as well, along with the thoughts of people way better at audio than I am. Apple rates the Powerbeats Pro at up to 9 hours of listening and 6 hours of talk time per earbud, and says you can fast charge them from 0 to 1.5 hours in just 5 minutes, or 0 to 4.5 hours in just 15 minutes, which is sweet. Full charge takes 90 minutes. Pop them back into their case and you can recharge them almost 2 more times for a grand total of 24 hours. As to how accurate those numbers are and how much they vary in real-world usage, it'll take me some time to test that and figure it out, so I'll cover that in the full review. The earpods are fully independent as well, so you can use them one at a time if you want to, and charge the case while using the pods, which takes 2.5 hours, but also means if you manage things right, the battery life is effectively unlimited. I've been doing this with AirPods since they launched, and it's absolutely one of my favorite things about them. The case charges over Lightning, which is better than micro USB, but not as cool as USB-C, which would be the new standard if everyone, especially Apple, would just hurry up and support it as that standard. That aside, this power situation is super smart, and I'd go so far as to say almost perfect. It makes wireless and ultra mobile more than just manageable, it makes it almost transparent. The Powerbeats Pro have Apple's new dedicated H1 headphone chip, one in each bud. While the W1 turned into W2 and W3 and ran off with the Apple Watch, the H1 taking its place does less general wireless things and more things specific to what you want in wireless audio. Yes, they still make pairing ludicrously easy on iOS devices, including iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and even Apple TV, and even quick and clean on the Mac. And thanks to iCloud, once you pair on your iPhone or iPad, the pairing is just propagated to every other device on your account. H1 also makes it faster to switch between devices. Like I said in my AirPods 2 review, what used to take me multiple clicks and taps and several long seconds now seldom, if ever, takes more than one. Powerbeats, same deal. H1 also enables on-pod Siri, and again, it doesn't sound like a big difference, whispering Siri into your Powerbeats instead of shouting it at your iPhone or whatever, but it really is. It's near-field ambient computing, and once you get into it, just working, walking, working out, living life with an assistant always available, you wonder how you ever lived in the dark ages without one. H1 is also what lets each earpod work with full independence. There's no primary pod that then relays the secondary pod, which means you don't have to care which one you wear. Both get optimized connections straight from the source, and both can control the source equally. They can't really fight over it, so you don't have to worry about them vying for dominance of your ears. They'll intelligently figure out which one should be listening at any given time, or last control click wins. Optical sensors let the Powerbeats detect when they're in your ears, so they can take over audio, or when you pop them out so the audio can automatically pause. There's also an accelerometer that detects when the pods are stationary and not in use, so they can go into deep sleep mode and save your battery life. That's all aces, but it's also the same as AirPods. What's cool, what's new, and what's different is a second accelerometer that detects your mouth moving, like when you're talking. Paired with a beamforming mic in each pod, it helps filter out noise so your calls sound crisp and clear. Since Powerbeats don't have the elongated mic like AirPods, that's really a clever workaround, especially considering the mic quality knocks on other similar wireless headsets. In the meantime, if you're curious about this crazy new age of computational audio, check out Brilliant. Brilliant offers dozens of interactive courses, including ones on algorithms and machine learning, that you explore on your commute, while traveling, or just about anywhere, even offline. Download any of their dozens of interactive courses through the mobile app, and you'll be able to solve fascinating problems in math, science, and computer science, no matter where you are or how spotty your internet connection is. What's awesome about these courses is that they're totally interactive. You'll experiment with pendulum clocks to master the physics of motion, use rockets to model algebraic functions, and learn probability by playing casino blackjack. So if you want to support Vector and get unlimited access to all of Brilliant's in-depth math and science courses, you can head right on over to brilliant.org/vector and get 20% off their annual premium subscription. Thanks, Brilliant. Thanks to all of you. If you're wondering how the Powerbeats Pro work with Android, the answer is similarly to AirPods. You still connect them over Bluetooth, so none of that special pairing magic, but they still have complete independence, so you can still control them, listen to them, one at a time, both at a time. You can even tap and hold to launch the assistant of your choice. Powerbeats Pro in black are available for order now and shipping this month. The other colors, and yes, unlike AirPods, they also come in navy blue, moss green, and ivory white, though sadly not product red, at least not yet, will be available later this summer. They cost $250, which is $90 more than AirPods, or $50 more than the AirPods with the inductive charging case. That can cause some sticker shock, especially if you're used to making your purchase decisions strictly based on audio quality. Powerbeats Pro though, like AirPods, what you're really paying for is the tiny tech squeezed inside, the H1 chip, the sensors, and everything else that lets them pair easily and quickly and power up fast and last long. If you just want audio quality, stick to wires. If you want truly wireless next generation convenience, and yeah, coolness, and you want more than what AirPods currently provide, then you want Powerbeats. At least that's what I think, at least right now, after just 24 hours. But I'll be back in a week or so with my full review. So hit like, hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and then hit up the comments and let me know what you think. Will Powerbeats Pro be your next headset? Why or why not? Thank you so much for watching, and see you next video.